Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending the fourth session of the CAAC learning project. In this session, we are going to learn the acoustic cue of consonant length. In the first part, I'll very briefly introduce the consonants in English and the three dimensions of consonants. Then, based on the manner of articulation of the consonants, I will explain the connection between the consonant types and consonant length. Finally, as usual, I'll demonstrate how to visualize the acoustic cue of consonant length. As listed in this table, there are 24 consonants in English. They can be classified based on three dimensions. The first one is the place of articulation. The second one is the manner of articulation, and the third one is voicing, whether it is voiced or voiceless. The focus of this session is the manner of articulation. I will introduce three types of consonants based on the manner of articulation. The first type of consonant is called plosive. When we pronounce the plosives, the airstream is blocked by articulators, such as the lips, the tongue, the hard palate, and the soft palate. The air behind the blockage is compressed and then released. The plosives in English include p, b, t, d, k, and g, and they have relatively short consonant length because the blockage and release happen very quickly. The second type of consonant is called fricative. When we produce the fricatives, air escapes through a small passage and makes a hissing sound. The fricatives in English include f, v, v, z, sh, z, and they have relatively long consonant length because the hissing sound is continuous, and you can continue making them without interruption as long as you have enough air in your lungs. I would like to remind you that because this video is recorded by Zoom and it automatically filters out noises, so when I pronounce the fricatives, the hissing sounds may be filtered out by Zoom. So please forgive me if the fricatives I pronounced are not as hissing as expected. The last type of consonant I would like to talk about is called approximant. An approximant is a consonant with very little obstruction to the airstream. The approximants in English are wu, like in when, yi, like in you, and r, like in red, and they have relatively short consonant length. The reason why I introduced these three types of consonants to you is that it's commonly challenging for Chinese learners of English to differentiate the and d and v and w. If we can understand the acoustic cue of consonant length, it can be much easier for us to differentiate the sound pairs because the differences are quite distinctive. For the pair, the th sound z and d. Z is a fricative. Air is escaped from the small passage, and the air is continuous. And d is a plosive. The release of air is short. So the one with a longer consonant length is more likely to be the th sound z. For the pair v and u, v is a fricative. The airstream is continuous, and u is an approximant. So the one with a shorter consonant length is more possibly to be u. There's another important thing that we need to notice. Normally, the length of the same sound at different word positions can be different. Specifically, the consonant length is relatively short at the word initial position and also the word medial position. and is the longest at the word ending position. In this project, we only compare consonants at the same word position. Now, here are 3 words and their IPAs. Please choose the one with the longest consonant length for the underlined consonant. You may pause here to have a closer look. The consonant more likely to have the longest length is the TH sound th of the word then.
Then.
The consonant d in then is a plosive.
Den.
And the consonant of when is an approximant.
When.
The consonant TH sound th of the word then is a fricative, and fricatives usually have longer consonant length because the airstream is continuous. Just like the acoustic cue of vowel length we learned in session 2, the visualization of consonant length can be visualized and quantified by time duration. Here's an example of visualized feedback of the approximant w in while and the fricative v in vial. The 2 pictures on the left are the visualized information generated by Pratt, and the parts where the target consonants are pronounced were labeled with yellow background and red numbers. So we can see that the consonant length of w in while is 47 milliseconds, 9% of the word duration. The consonant length of v in vial is 122 milliseconds, 22% of the word duration. On the right is the logic of understanding the visualized feedback step by step. First, the sounds we're comparing are the w in while and the v in vial.
Vial.
The key difference between them is consonant type. W is an approximant and v is a fricative. Normally, in the same context, approximants have shorter consonant lengths, and fricatives have longer consonant lengths. The consonant length information also confirms that the target consonant in the first word is the approximant w, and the fricative v in the second word.
Vial.
Here's another example of comparing the consonant length of d in there and the th sound z in there.
There.
In the first picture, we can see that the consonant length of d in there is 24 milliseconds, 6% of the word duration, which is very short. The second picture shows that the consonant length of the th sound z in there is 117 milliseconds, 21% of the word duration, which is much longer. Here's the logic of understanding this visualized feedback. The key difference between the 2 target consonants is that d in there is a plosive and the th sound th in there is a fricative. In the same context, plosives usually have shorter vowel lengths, and fricatives have longer vowel lengths. This matches the consonant length information shown in the pictures, so it confirms that the target consonant in the first word is indeed the plosive d, and the second word is the fricative th.
There.
Here are 2 pictures with information about consonant length for the plosive d in then and the fricative th in then. Please have a look and choose the one about the plosive d in then. The target consonant d in then is a plosive, and the consonant th in then is a fricative. In the same context, plosives usually have shorter consonant length, and fricatives have longer consonant length. So the second picture with the shorter consonant length is the one about the plosive d in then. That's all for session 4. Thank you so much for watching. Please use what you learned in this session to complete the training tasks.